Hello, everyone. My name is Katelyn. I'm part of the water conservation group. A few other members will be providing. Dory, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Dory. I'm part of the landscape design group.
Hi there, my name is Daniel Wu, and I will be the first speaker for today. All right. What the? All right, sorry about the disturbance, folks. Anywho, property description. Yimeng chose this backyard with a steep slope and a large area for planting a multitude of plants. Due to the angle of several trees in the house, this area has the perfect amount of shade, partial shade, and sun throughout the day, as well as 2 sprinklers for abundant watering in the splash zone where the water stream ends, providing a different level of moisture for a variation of Californian vegetation based on where they are planted. This backyard also has a paved rock road, which can support 3 to 5 beehives placed at the right position. Next slide, please. Now, landscape goals. You might be wondering why I mentioned beehives in the previous description. Well, you see, the goal is to conserve the native bee and honeybee population by allowing wild bees to feed off of the garden, and the bees we keep in the 3 to 5 bee houses to feed and continually spread across the environment. As you probably know, due to industrialization, habitat loss, stressful transport, and harmful mites, bee colonies have been dwindling for decades now. Even the bumblebee has been continually declining as pesticide use and habitat loss drove one of America, Asia, and Africa's most important pollinators down the path to chaos. Honeybees are also suffering. Truck transport and poor living conditions allow bee colonies to collapse due to stress or to mites and diseases. As smoothly carved wood bee houses prohibit the full use of their antibiotic saliva, which they use to keep their hive clean. That's why I'm using scrap wood to build bee houses, and why we want to help. By filling the backyard with a huge amount of bee-friendly flowers and setting carpenter, honey, and mason bee houses around the paved rock road, we can make a major difference in terms of supporting our native bee population and feeding all native bee predators as well, allowing all of LA's fauna to thrive. P.S. We are not responsible if any of our bees sting or bite you in defense of their colony. Also, I'm sorry for the stuttering. It's very hard to read out of the light of a window. Next slide, please. Microclimates. As you can see, due to the position of the house and the tree, along with the rising and setting of the sun, this allows for a full shade area and a partial shade area. The direction of the path also creates water runoff, which creates an erosion area that you can easily fix with some spread-rooted vegetation later in the design. Lastly, for unknown reasons, this side of the garden has always been extremely dry, despite being watered the same amount as the other areas, leaving this place a dry area for other drought-hardy plants to inhabit. And the other areas are all full sun. Yep, LA is a sunny place. All right, now sending it off to my first plant presenter, Dory. Yay, cheering, claps, because no one else will cheer or clap.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Now I will be introducing the first 4 California native plants that will benefit the bee population in different beneficial ways. Starting with the common yarrow, it is a California native plant that will be located in the erosion/dry area that includes full sun/partial shade, along with little water in the backyard. Its drought-resistant nature and extensive root system will allow it to capture and stabilize soil while requiring little or no water. Having common yarrow in our yard will attract many pollinators, primarily bees, which will fly from one yarrow to the next, taking pollen as they go. The next California native plant is echinacea. This flower belongs in the full sun, little water area due to its ability to thrive in hot weather and be drought resistant at the same time. It can benefit bees by providing lots of nectar and pollen during the seasons in which they are most active. A fun fact about this native plant is that it was once used as a herb by Native Americans to treat a variety of minor illnesses. Moving on to the next California native plants, we have the California aster, which belongs in the full sun, partial shade, and little water area. Just like echinacea and other California native plants, this plant is drought resistant, and what's special about it is that it can thrive in both full shade areas and partial shade areas. California asters are known for blooming from late summer through fall, therefore being able to provide a critical pollen/nectar source for bees. A fun fact about this plant is that not only do they attract bees, but California asters are irresistible to butterflies as well. Next, we have the California native plant, lily of the valley, which belongs in the partial shade, lots of water area. This plant can thrive in both partial shade and full sun, and their roots enjoy moisture, which is why they're located in plenty of water area. This flower emits a strong sweet scent while it blooms in May that will inevitably attract bees, who are the main pollinators for this plant. With it being a classic spring flower, lily of the valley is the official flower for the month of May. Next, let's welcome our next speaker, Melissa, who will be introducing the other California native plants.
Thank you, Dory. I'm Melissa, and I will be introducing the next 4 plants that have a variety of benefits for bees. First is the common foxglove. The common foxglove is highly tolerant of drought, like many other previously mentioned plants, and is able to thrive in full sun, partial shade, and full shade. It's also naturalized throughout all of North America. The color and nectar of the flower attracts bumblebees, and its tubular shape gives bumblebees easy access to the nectar. Its name refers to its glove-like shape that seems to fit the paws of foxes. Next slide, please. The next plant is the beard tongue, also known as the penstemon. The beard tongues can thrive in areas with partial shade to full sun because having an adequate amount of sunlight keeps the plant upright. It grows better when it is watered once a week, which makes it a perfect candidate for an area with adjustable sprinklers. Beard tongues provide tons of nectar and pollen for a variety of different bees, and it also comes in a variety of colors that will inevitably attract lots of pollinators, including purple, blue, red, orange, white, pink, and yellow. Next slide, please. The third plant I'll be introducing is the Western redbud. The Western redbud grows best in areas with full sun because of its ability to produce more flowers in full sun. It is also drought tolerant and grows easily in well-drained soils. The Western redbud shrub attracts both honeybees and carpenter bees. When it is grown in sunny conditions, the flower produces more nectar, which is another benefit for bees. Next slide. The last plant is California coffee berries. The California coffee berry belongs in this category because it has adapted to local weather conditions in California. Therefore, it requires little or no extra waterings to grow. It will also thrive in shaded areas as well. The young stems brighten the plant with their reddish color. The spring blooming flowers are greenish and quite small, but they attract many pollinating insects with their bountiful amounts of nectar that they produce, despite their tiny flowers. The berries of California coffee berries are sweet and edible. Thank you. Now to Katelyn, who will be presenting the next slides.
Hello everyone, so I'll be covering the biden flowers. So biden flowers are easy care and long blooming plants that are easily recognized in garden beds. These flowers usually bloom in yellow or orange, so they're very vibrant colors, and they usually populate in warmer temperatures. So biden flowers typically can grow in partial sun conditions, but for the best type of bloom, full sun is definitely recommended. Also, regarding the amount of water, biden flowers are considered fairly drought resistant. So this means that little water is needed, except for special circumstances. So biden flowers thrive in full sun. It only needs extra watering when the temperature is extremely high. So they're native in the southern half of the United States, and these tough little weeds are perfect for a garden. Like the Western redbud, it produces more flowers in full sun, which benefits both butterflies and bees. Its pollen and honey-scented flowers attract many insects. Next slide, please. The finished garden design incorporated all of the following plants that we talked about, such as the Western redbuds in the full sun, common foxglove in the shade, California coffee berries in the partial shade, and so on. As you can see, all of them have a specific place in the garden, so that will help with thousands of bees as generations go on. Next slide. For our summary slide, the summary of this entire slideshow includes examples of the plants that can help wild feed off of. The main goal was to help conserve the native bee population by creating bee-friendly gardens that help with the continuous spread of bees in our environment. Plus, due to all the drought-resistant plants incorporated in this area, this flower garden will also support the cause of water conservation as a perk. Thank you. So the next slide will be covered by Daniel Wu.
There are no more slides. Thank you for listening. But before that, please give the previous performers a round of applause. Again, silence.
Nope.